Hi, my name's Cameron Carlson from the AnimeLocation.tv. I'm here at Ohayocon 2020 with Miss Amanda Lee.
No! Hi, I'm back! It's like a bad penny. I just keep turning up.
So it's been very many years since the last time you and I got the chance to talk. It was at Ohayocon 2013. How have you been in the last 7 years?
7 years. It's been a ride. A lot of crazy stuff, but really, really good. Life is fantastic right now. We're happy.
Good, good. So, again, you got to work on your own now brand new YouTube channel called Mom's Guide to Cannabis. How's it going?
It's going really well. The purpose of our channel is to educate everyone about cannabis. I always say it's sort of like alcohol. Not everybody wants to do tequila shots. Sometimes you want to sip a glass of wine. So I'm just trying to teach people how to sip a glass of wine. Also, it's just a lot of the people in my generation, back in my day, we grew up with Dare and Just Say No. So what happened was I had back surgery, and then I was very vocal about using cannabis instead of opioids, instead of Percocet. So then I'd go pick my son up at school, and all these moms would come up to me at pickup and go, "Amanda, how do I do this?" And I'm like, okay, there's definitely a generation gap where people just need education. So we created Mom's Guide to Cannabis.
Again, use the show to educate and provide several questions about cannabis. What would be like one of the more common, like, easy question that you get that you're like, this is how you do it safely?
Well, I have my rules. Okay, so for edibles, you only start, I know they come in like 100 and 500 and all these ridiculous doses. No, absolutely not. That's why people are like, oh, I can't do edibles. It's like, yeah, because you ate 3,000 grams and you thought that China was trying to steal your teddy bear. Like, no, of course not. Edibles, if you start with a dose from 5 to 10 milligrams. Is the starting dose. And do not make the rookie mistake of after 1 hour going, it's not working yet, I'm gonna take more, because I can guarantee you the second you take more, the other stuff is gonna kick in, and then you're gonna be tripping your face off, and it's not gonna be fun. The other piece of advice I have is always wait 15 minutes between hits. Today's weed is very, very strong, but there's a delayed effect. So people will stand around smoking, then all of a sudden they're like, and I'm like, no, just take one hit and walk away, and you'll see, you're fine. And it also makes your stash last longer.
Well, I also have to admit, I can actually pick it up really well with my nose. I can actually sniff it out really, really fast. So again, you do another YouTube show. No, you're fine. You do another YouTube show with about queer children. How's that going for you guys?
That is going fantastic. It's called Sara and Amanda's Queer Kid Roundup, and it's for LGBTQIA kids. There's a ridiculously high suicide rate in teens, in LGBTQIA teens, and our babies can't be dying. Our babies are precious. There's no reason that these people, that these poor children should feel that way. So my friend Sara and I make a YouTube channel, and also we're on Twitter, Queer Kid Roundup, where basically if your mom sucks or is not supportive, we want to be your mom. Okay, because we love you, and you're whole and you're perfect, and there's nothing wrong with you. You are amazing. The other people around you need to get their heads out of their butts. But in the meantime, if you need some mom love, Sara and I are always online, and we're always happy to give plenty of internet mom hugs and kisses.
Alrighty. So what is it? How does YouTube bring you closer to the fans and help them make the community stronger through both your channels?
I have so much more communication with the fans this way, and I've been able to start more dialogues with them rather than being limited to 280 characters or whatever I can get. Somebody will send me like a 3-paragraph thing, and I can write a 3-paragraph answer. So it really helps me to connect a lot better. It's funny, yeah. The internet is an ugly place, but I've really found all these wonderful people that I just adore, and that makes it worth it for me. Yeah. And so we block the trolls. Screw them.
That's what we say. So you still have been a bit busy in the anime industry, helping with the critical acclaim show movie Silent Voice. How's it like working on that?
Well, I don't know. Some people don't know this. Our son is deaf, and so I think that's part of the reason they brought me on. So I gave this sort of deaf perspective. The show was amazing. Like it was Stephanie Shea. I have to say that was her baby. She was brilliant, and there would be times A couple of days, I just come up, I just cried the entire way home because it's so heartbreaking. But I just thought it was such a beautiful piece, and it's so like dead accurate, like the brain of a teenager. Like, okay, I need an excuse, but it has to be a good excuse because I don't want to look like a dork. Okay, it was so cute and so sweet. But yeah, that one is another one that the first time I watched it, I was completely blindsided. Yeah. I'm not going to ruin it, but it's amazing. But when the Shoko and I was just like, oh, no. Yeah. So it's a beautiful, very, very powerful piece. I highly recommend it to everyone.
I watched it all alone in my apartment. So yeah. So again, you were kind of the fun part is that you got to reprise your role from Persona 4 for the cross battle. How was it like coming back and voicing her?
I love Yukiko. I always said that Yukiko would be the woman that I would be if I'd listened to all the etiquette stuff my mother tried to teach me.
I think that flew out the window.
Honey, at age 3, okay? But that didn't stop her from trying. I love Yukiko. She's such a sweet, good good person. And it's funny because I'll get comments on my cannabis channel. They're like, yeah, Yukiko's blazing it. I'm like, no. Yukiko is a good girl. She's at home. She's working at her family's inn. Amanda Winn Lee is a complete degenerate, and she's getting stoned in the backyard. Big difference.
And buying things on Amazon.
I haven't used it in a while. I have an Instagram account called Painkiller Shopping. And that was every time after my back surgery, I'd take edibles and other things and get crazy stoned and go shopping online. And then I would forget what I'd bought for myself. So then when it would come like a week or two later, I'd be like, oh, yay, presents, surprise. It was like every day was Christmas. Some of the stuff was amazing.
And useful.
And very, very useful. And then some of the stuff was like, I bought a model of, like the dentists have those little teeth set. I'm like, I can't even retrace the line of thinking that went into like, yeah, I need a pair of flappy teeth. So I can be like, look, this is what it looks like if you get a root canal. Like, no, I don't need that. But Stone Me was like,
and again, going into Persona, you leading into that, you were also part of Persona 5 game. How cool is it to continue in the series?
I just love Atlas. I just have so much fun recording with them, and they put up with me, which is saying a lot. I don't, I don't work with a lot of studios anymore. It's not,
you have to hit the right fit.
Yeah, or there's just some people will say like, oh, I'll come audition for this, and I'm like, nah, not in the mood. I don't want, I just work with people that I know that I like. Yeah. So, and it's kind of nice to be in that position, to be like, yeah, you know what? I don't have to like, oh my God, please give me the next one. I'm like, no, I'm good. I've got a full life that's outside of anime. So whatever happens, happens.
Awesome. So again, following up real quick, you got to work on the game Bravely Second End Layer. How cool is it to be like that, and especially a lot of fun characters and voices?
Another really, really fun recording. Actually, it was funny. So my character, Magnolia Arch, appears in Bravely Second End Layer. All right? And so that she only has like 3 lines. So my son was 7, and I had to like pick him up from a doctor's appointment. So I brought him with me to the recording session. I was like, okay, you sit there. And so her line is, my name's Magnolia Arch, Ballbuster. And so we spent the entire ride home explaining what a ball buster was and then what the pun was to my 7-year-old son. Parent of the year.
And kind of following up with being parents and wonderful things, you love having your son express himself through his animals. You guys have a tortoise, a lizard, dogs, cats. What's it like having a zoo at your house?
I love my crazy zoo. My only complaint is, I swear, every time I'm about to leave the house, one of them needs something. The cat comes up, or the tortoise is out and needs to be fed, or I'm like, I gotta go every single time. But I love them. I love all my critters, my babies. It's funny, like, we have this big 70-pound tortoise, Methuselah, who lives in the backyard. We call him the dude because the dude abides. And he's so, like, I never thought I would feel affection for a reptile. Like, there's a reason why reptilian brain is an insult. You think it's all just stimulus response. He's the cutest dude. Oh my God. He'll like, when he sees me, he comes, waddling up, running, and he's like, because he wants me to feed him, and he nibbles on my toes. I mean, it's adorable. I love all kinds of critters. I always keep going like, oh, look, that little rat's so cute. And I think Jason will divorce me if I bring any more animals home, though. So I'm sticking with the horde that we've got.
Okay, real quick, where can we follow you online if we want to keep up with all the projects we've talked about? And then what message would you love to give to all the wonderful fans out there?
So on Facebook, you can find me, Amanda Winn Lee, the fan page. Twitter, Amanda Winn Lee. Or Twitter also, Queer Kid Roundup. And then my YouTube channel is mine, Amanda Winn Lee. The other one is Sara and Amanda's Queer Kid Roundup. You can reach me through any of those. I'm happy to talk. And just my message is you guys are awesome. And you know what? Life gets really rough sometimes, but hang in there because it's worth it.
Amanda, you've been inspirational and such a great friend. Thank you so much for coming out and talking with me.
Thank you.